Hiya.
Hello.
Welcome to the Geeky Girls Knit and FlossTube podcast / FlossTube. We'll get better at that. And now I don't know what to say. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Dammy, also known as Dammy's Doodles. I can't crack with these on.
And we're glad to have you today. Today is Thursday, the 19th of September, 2019, and this is episode 362. And there's a loud truck outside.
Are you disturbing your nap, baby?
Pinky was sleeping in the sun, and then a big truck woke her up.
It's gonna be so cozy.
Yes.
It's a mustache.
We'd like to say a big welcome back. Did I say it was episode 362?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We love you guys. Thanks for coming back. And a big hiya to the new viewers who are giving us a shot. I have not gotten this off to a good start. We hope you enjoy the show. Dammy, if somebody is not a member of our Ravelry group, what should they do and why?
You should join and introduce yourself in our introductions thread because then you will get a shout out on the next episode and be able to participate in all our alongs and giveaways.
That's right. We're actually going to talk about later in the podcast that we are opening up our seasonal alongs to some other crafts. And I did a tutorial. Do I have scissors? Yes. I did a tutorial walkthrough of how to join our group on Ravelry and how to post your projects in the alongs and how to enter the giveaways. So stay tuned for that. But we're excited to open up our owls and giveaways to more than just knitters, crocheters, weavers, and spinners. So, okay. Well, we have a little bit of stuff to talk about, so we probably should get started. Here we go.
Now we're going to talk about what is on our needles.
So what's on your needles, Dammy?
I finally finished one repeat of the pattern on my Persephone wrap. This is for a Hadestown pattern collection that I'm designing. That'll be published who knows when. But it's on US 6's 4mm needles. And the yarn I'm using, finally, because it was hand-dyed for me quite a while ago, by Robin of Wild Happy Color. It's the Authentic Base in the Dammy's Muse colorway.
Pretty.
And so, now that I've finally finished one repeat, I've done all the math and figured out to get it finished by the date I wanted to get it finished by. I need to do 9 rows a day. Preferably more.
Does that include, like, once you go back to school?
Yes.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Anything else on your needles?
No.
All right.
What's on your needles?
Well, first up is Dammy's 20th birthday socks, because she'll be 20 in like 4 weeks-ish.
Wow.
So I'm using my Fringionella Cappuccino sock pattern on US 1.5, 2.5 mil needles, and the yarn is Knit Pick Stroll hand painted in the Borealis colorway. This is still the first sock.
It looks so comfortable.
I think he's still having a bath. Do you want me to do the cuff here, or do you want me to go all the way out to here and then the cuff?
Whichever is easier.
I will do whatever is more comfortable for you.
Care.
You have to make a decision.
I don't want to.
You have to.
Pinky, what do you say? She says do it right where you are.
Okay, I need to count rows then. And do the cuff so that I can get on to the next sock. I am also working on a shawl for the, I think it's Hohi Fall Cow hashtag. That may not be right. Look at my Instagram where I've posted it. Sorry, hold on. I'm tangled in colors of yarn, strands of yarn. So I am doing her inner piece shawl. Again, this is by Hohi Locatelli. And I'm on US 4's 3.5 mil needles. And the yarn is Pandia's Jewel Snug in the Supernatural colorway. And Suburban Stitcher Sock in the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park colorway. And I have completed section 1. And so this is the Suburban Stitcher. This is the Pandia's Jewels. So I did sections 2 and 3 in the Pandia's Jewels, and then I've started on section 4 back in the Suburban Stitcher.
It's Hohi Fall Cal 2019.
Thank you, Dammy. So there are my baubles. It's not a difficult pattern. It's just a lot of short rows, and other than that, garter. So I am working on that. And then my English paper piecing. So I finished, I think I showed y'all last week, I had finished the flower. So I needed to start on a new flower with fabrics. And so Dammy was like going through my fabric, looking to try to help me decide, and then I ended up just pulling all of my fabric out of my bag and sorting it into sorry, the Dr. Hubs is texting me. I sorted it into fat quarters, smaller than fat quarter pieces, and larger than fat quarter pieces. And Dammy and I decided that I'm going to pair up 4 fabrics for this flower and its coordinating flower. So I've started on it, and so I'm alternating the pandas with the cats because they have the same kind of feel. And then on the outside, I will be doing owls that also go along with it, and black and white houndstooth. So I am working on that. So I'll be done with the smaller part on Friday, and then I'll start on the outer. So you'll get a glimpse of the outer when I show this again next week. So I am making progress. I still have not done my thing that I printed out the hexagon graph paper to figure out a layout on. I have time. So that is everything that is on my needles. So let's move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about her finished project.
So here is my weekly preemie hat for this week. This is number 37 for the year. This is from my free top-down preemie hat pattern that you can get on Ravelry. It's on US 6's 4mm needles, and I held 2 yarns together. I held a strand of Plymouth yarn Linaza hand-dyed in the mauve pink orange colorway. That is the yarn that I used for my summer top that I still haven't worn. It's sitting on my dresser. I will wear it. And a strand of Sun-Soaked Sister Everything Earth in the taupe colorway, which is from my Pom Pom Pop shawl. So I thought I was running out of yarn, so I started the ribbing and then ended up having more yarn than I thought, so I just did more ribbing than I normally do. So it's fine. It's all good. All good. So that's everything that I have finished. Let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for FlossTube. I'm trying to remember, somebody suggested a way to introduce it. Mm-hmm. Where we switch from 2 needles to 1. What do you think?
Sure.
Or, if you have another suggestion, throw it out there. All right, Dammy. This is really exciting. I taught Dammy how to cross stitch this week. So, what are you cross stitching, Dammy?
It's abstract.
Okay.
It is this from a little kit I got on clearance from Joann's.
Every day is an adventure with a bicycle with flowers.
So I've just got a bit of the wheel, part of the seat, and I think these are part of the handlebars I'm starting on now.
Cool. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah.
You really wanted to learn so you could do some Haunted Mansion stuff for your friend.
Mm-hmm. And for me too.
Yeah. So you're doing good. Keep on keeping on.
If I can finish my 9 rows today, I might go back to this. I might go back and forth because I have had to shut my computer off because it's being funky, and so it's recalibrating the battery. So now I need something else to do.
Well. Ooh la la.
And this is on Aida.
Ada.
Aida. Aida.
Ada. Does it say, is it 14 count?
I would guess that's like the biggest, right?
No, there's more than that.
Oh, look, there's an official product number for it.
I'm guessing it's 14 count.
Like 14 stitches to an inch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I threw away what the inventory was. Here's all my floss. Ow!
I did not know that was there. I'm so sorry.
I got poked. This is all my floss. I didn't know you had to pull it apart. I thought you just did it.
Well, in some projects you do. Like I was watching a FlossTube a little bit ago where somebody was doing 3 strands over. So.
She has to show me how to do backstitch and a French knot though, because this is not just normal X's.
Although we will actually probably do the colonial knot. Because I've been told that's...
God bless George Washington.
I've been told that's easier, and I watched a YouTube video and it looks easier, but I'm going to have to watch it again to do it. Okay, so I am still working on my Quaker pumpkin from the Stitcher Hood, although I changed the colors.
I need one of those things you have for the needle.
A needle minder?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have to go shopping for needle minders.
Maybe I need a Little Mermaid one.
I'm sure there are. Maybe I need a Winnie the Pooh one.
Maybe I should re-download Etsy and look while you're talking.
Okay, well, but don't order because I might want a Winnie the Pooh one. Okay, here we go. Look at that. I'm making progress, you guys. So there are 5 rows of the stars, although the bottom row is not full stars. And I'm on row 3. So let me give you a little story. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away,
Look how fancy.
there was a magical pumpkin that decided it wanted its owner to participate in the School of Magical Stitches and Literature. What is the School of Magical Stitches and Literature, you may be asking?
Mermaid.
Oh, that's cute. It is a challenge where you earn points that don't mean anything. Right? Is it, how did they say it on Whose Line Is It?
Where the questions are made up and the points don't matter? Something's made up.
It is, if you're in the knitting crocheting world, it is similar to the Knit and Crochet House Cup. And so there are challenges every week. There are like monthly-ish challenges. There's full year challenges. There's extra challenges. There's all this stuff. So this week, it's a 5-part challenge, and if you don't complete the whole thing, you still earn points for what you did. So the first part of it was I had to do 200 stitches on a project that caused me mental stress. And so I did this because it was the first time I worked... Wait, which way did I say it?
First time you had worked on something other
than... So I'm going to use one reason for one... Hold on. I got to look now because I don't want to tell y'all wrong. Hold on. Hold that thought. Let me go to my magical stitches because I put it in here already. My first task done. Okay. So I did that. This is the first time I've stitched 2 over 2, which means 2 strands of floss over 2 things. Okay. So I had to do 200 stitches on that for that. Did that. Finished. The next one, challenge. Oh, that was for Defense Against the Dark Arts. We're in year 6. This was for Dada for Professor Snape. It was a non-verbal spell. Okay, second part is, it's for potions, for Professor Slughorn. I needed an infusion of wormwood for the Drought of Living Death. So I need to stitch on a project that features something you can relate to wormwood. Well, wormwood is a plant. Pumpkins are plants. There you go. So I've done 150 of the 200 stitches I need. Okay? Now you can get extra credit if you are able to do all 5 of... For this week, there's 5 tasks. All 5 of the tasks on one project, but I can't because there's only 2 colors of this project and the color I need is not in there. So for task number 3, it's another one for potions. I need to I needed the Alchemy eggshell for the Felix Felicius potion. So I need to stitch 200 stitches on in silver or gray. And so I went through my patterns. I was like, what do I have that I can do? I'm going to do this cute little, what's it called? Little Cat's Halloween. And there it is, a cat sitting on a pumpkin with a witch's hat. And there are 3 different colors of gray used in here. A very dark pewter gray, a regular pewter gray, and a dark steel gray. So we ran by Joann's, and I bought all the floss that I didn't have. And as soon as I finish my 200 stitches on my Quaker pumpkin, this will be I'm folding it because the pattern's behind here. This will be the next thing I do. So that will be for task number 3. Task number 4 is another one for potions. And Professor Slughorn would like 6 inches of parchment on the effects of amortentia and your personal experience with it. So I have to stitch on a project that features something you would smell if you sniffed the amortentia potion. Now, tell me again what this potion does.
It smells like someone or something he loves. Like Hermione smells peppermint toothpaste because Ron uses peppermint toothpaste.
So I could smell pumpkins because pumpkins are something I love.
Sure.
So I will be doing 200 more stitches on this. And then the 5th task for the week, again for potions, I need to stitch something that caused me to learn something about my stitching. And I learned that I love stitching on higher count fabrics and fabrics that are not Aida. Aida's awesome.
Aida.
I have some Aida fabric, and that's great, and I'm going to use it up. But I have just discovered that this is my preference. So I'll do 200. Hopefully I'll get all these stitches done. All 200 stitches that I need. And that will get me my 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 points for the 10 house points for this week. I'm also almost done with the Ultimate Year-Long Reading Challenge, which is worth 100 house points. And what you had to do was take 5 words: Hufflepuff, Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, Slytherin, and Hogwarts. And you have to read a book that the letter, so for example, H for Hufflepuff, I had to read a book that the title started with the letter H, or the author's first or last name started with the letter H, and they don't count the words like the, and So for example, for H, I read Evie Drake Starts Over by Linda Holmes, because H for Holmes. So I only need 2 more books. That's crazy, from all the books I've read this year. And I think I found the ones I'm going to do. I need a U and a Y, and I'll be done with that. I'm also doing the alternate book challenge because they're reading Harry Potter this year. But y'all know, if you've been watching for a while, that I'm rereading with the podcasts. So there's an alternate, so I have that. And then there's an extra credit where I've earned 5, 10, 15, 25 extra credit house points this week. And there's also the year 6 stitching extra credit, which I might be able to work on, and yeah. So, and that's all in my Bujo, in my Winnie the Pooh 100 Acre Wood Map Bujo cover. So that is what I'm working on with that. If you want to join, I put a link in the show notes for the School of Magical Stitches and Literature. There's also, I found out, an Enchanted Stitches group, but I also do know that the School of Magical Stitches and Literature group next year is going to have a Disney theme, and I'm really excited about that. And there's going to be some special patterns designed just for the people in the Magical Stitches school and all of that. So, okay, if you have just come on to watch FlossTube, I want to ask you to please stay tuned for the Yummy segment, which will be right after this segment, as well as for the September, October, November Artistic Autumnal Owl segment, because we're adding stitching and sewing to our allowance. So please stay tuned for that, and you can get all the details. And then this week, FlossTube I'm binging. I've caught up completely with the 2 Martini Stitcher, and I am almost caught up with Cupcake Stitcher, plus watching all the new episodes that came out this week that I'm subscribed to. Okay, that's everything for FlossTube. Let's move on to the next segment. And now it's time for our favorite part of the show, yummies. 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 Oh, I'm losing it, you guys. Yummies. What are yummies, Jamie?
Yummies are our current favorite things. Things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Yummies.
Got a haircut, finally.
Yes, and it's adorable. I love it. So, my friend Jessica is really, really a bad enabler.
You're going to say really is a bad person.
Which means she's really a good enabler. You guys know what? So I saw on her Instagram last week this cute little like 5" by 5" zipper pouch she had purchased, and I totally clicked over to the Etsy shop where it was sold and was like, what do I need another small pouch for? And I was like, and then last week at Knitting Group she got it out and I was like, I almost bought one. And then we were talking, and we were like, oh, I wonder if she can do them in a bigger size. Well, while we were sitting there at the table at Knitting Group, I started a conversation on Etsy with the lovely lady whose name is Bev. And she was like, I think I can do that. Let me try it and see how it comes out, and I'll let you know. And it worked. And so Jessica and I went in together and each bought a bag so that it would be cheaper shipping, which it ended up being free shipping. So that's awesome. But this is the bag. So this shop is called Tilting Planet on Etsy. I put the link in the show notes.
She followed me on Instagram.
Cool. She watched our episode last week. I told her about it. And I told her we'd be talking about it here on this episode. So hi, Bev. So she doesn't have any of these pouches in her shop right now because they have all sold out. But start a conversation with her if you're interested in one, and I'm sure she probably can accommodate you. So here it is. Are you guys ready? Look at all the ways that it shakes. Ah! And the things are encased inside, so they're not going to be in my project. This is, I believe she did an 8 by 10 size for us. And of course I got a pink zipper. And Jessica got a tealy blue zipper. And I love it. And so I'm going to put my my third task project, my little cat Halloween, in here. So I can stitch on that. I love it. I'm so in love with it. And Bev was just such a very generous, kind lady. She said, I thought I'd include some past the stash. Feel free to pass them if they're not your style. Well, one of them needs to get cast on like...
Cast on.
What is it called when you start a project?
Threaded.
Thread on?
Needs to get threaded immediately.
Needs to get stitched immediately. This is from Plum Street Samplers. This is Olga. Do you guys see that cat?
Olga.
Olga the cat. And I'm not usually a samplers like this kind of person, but I was like, maybe I'll just do the cat. And then everybody was like, no, it's stitching group because it like adds to it. So I'm going to do the whole thing. I think I might, though, like for the pumpkin, and then where the pumpkin colors is used other places, use my variegated jack-o'-lantern thread that I bought, fancy floss that I bought. So I want to see, let me see, I'm trying to see how big it is. It was stitched on 36 count. It's 101 stitches wide by 104 high. So that would make it, hold on, I have a fancy calculator. Tools, calculator. So it was 101 by 104. And I'm going to do it probably on 28 count, 2 stitches over. Without a border, it's about 7 by 7 inches on 28 count. So, that should be a lot of fun to do. And she also sent another one, which is not 100% my style, so we're going to do it as a prize in our Artistic Autumnal Owl. So this is Impossible by Satsuma Street. Jody Rice is the designer for Satsuma Street, and it says, "It always seems impossible until it is done." There's a closer up of it. And this is 2016 pattern. Olga, I think, was 2010. Sorry, I'm making noise opening this. I just want to try to tell y'all what size it is. It's 128 by 120. On 28 count, stitched over 2, it's 9 inches by 8.5 inches. And it uses all DMC colors. Her charts are very clear.
What stitch is that?
That's a back stitch.
Ooh. I have to do lots of that on my bike.
So thank you so much, Bev, for doing that and for sending the extras. You're amazing. And send her a message if you're interested in a bag. I'm actually thinking about seeing if she would do a smaller one for me to use as a wallet. I just got a brand new wallet not many months ago.
Yeah, I don't think you would like it all your stuff together.
All my cards in there.
Yeah, because there would be no separation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just being practical.
Okay.
'Cause I have a wallet like that, and I don't think you'd like it.
Yeah, you do have a wallet like that. Do you have anything for Yummies?
I got my haircut.
Oh, and yesterday we went and did our annual back to school mom and daughter pedicures. Dammies are kind of a purpley color, a dark kind of lavender purpley color.
Mauve.
No, mauve is more pink. Mauve is more pink. And mine is like a dark burgundy color. So we did that. So that was fun. Because you guys, she goes back to school in a little over a week. So, okay. Well, then let's talk about hashtag GGK Crafty Pad. What is it, Dammy?
It stands for Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day Challenge. So we have a list of photo prompts for each month. So you take a look at the prompt for that day, take a picture related to it, and post it anywhere you like. But we pick our favorites from Instagram.
That's right. And we're still continuing with our September theme of like back to school and autumn's coming, and then of course all our normal stuff. I want to try to pay attention in the future to make sure that we are giving prompts that would be accessible to other types of crafters. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we will do our due diligence and try to do our best to
That's you.
Oh, the mail's here. It's about to be a bunch of times because we have like 3 packages coming. What are they? I don't know. We'll let you know. If there's something to show on the podcast, we'll show you next week. Yeah, so we're going to do our best to try to make the GGK Crafty Pad more accessible to everyone to do. But, Dammy, what are we about to show them?
2 photos from us that we liked and 5 photos from other people that we liked.
Here come the photos. Those were our favorite photos. Great job, everybody. So it's never too late to join in. You just take a look at the prompt for the day. You know what today's prompt is? I haven't done it. Hold on. 11. So interpret that however you wish. We're very cheater friendly on this. Take a photo, post it on Instagram. Make sure in your caption you use hashtag #GGKCraftyPad. In addition, you can use GGK Stitchy Pad, GGK Kitty Pad, GGK Puggy Pad, GGK Puppy Pad, GGK Birdie Pad. And if you come up with another one, tag me, let me know, and I'll add it to the list. And your photo might get chosen. If you have a private account on Instagram and you're participating in GGK Crafty Pad, you need to make sure that Dammy's Doodles, DAMISDOODLES, link in the show notes, is following you. Send her a private message and she'll follow you, because otherwise we can't see your photos. So, yeah. Okay, upcoming events. Where's my card? We're not going to be attending this because we're attending something else, but just FYI, the Pacific Northwest Yarn Crawl is the first weekend in October. There's a link in the show notes to all the details. I would be attending this, except for the Dr. Hubs and I are going to Knit City in Vancouver, BC. So we will be there. The current plan is to do Knit City on Saturday and then touristy type stuff on Sunday before we come back. It's going to be a fast trip, just one night.
Go to Tim Hortons.
Oh, I need to make sure I do that. Okay, I need to make a list. So there's that. Then the second weekend, the first weekend in October is also my birthday. And today when you're watching this, if you're watching it the day it comes out, Friday, September 20th, the Dr. Hubs and I are celebrating our 22nd anniversary. And then exactly 2 weeks later, on the 4th, I'm turning 42. And then 9 days after that, Dammy's turning 20. And then the third weekend in October, Fiber Fusion Northwest is at Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, Washington. We'll be going on Saturday. I'm going to meet my friend Ann Tudor finally in person. She makes the beautiful glass stitch markers. And then the last weekend in October is the Seattle Cat Convention, CMeowCon. I'll be going on the Saturday. And then I'm attending a private knitting retreat, and it's been full for ages, on Saturday the 9th of November. And then Yarn Revolution is over in Seattle somewhere. I can't remember. It's linked in the show notes. On Sunday the 10th of November. So, it's going to be like a month and a half of all the crazy things. So I'm very excited. All right, well, let's move on to our next segment.
And now we're going to talk about what we are reading, watching, and listening to.
So what are you reading, Dammy?
I'm reading my pattern so I can knit it. I'm also reading The Secret Diaries of Miss Anne Lister that was edited by Helena Whitbread. It's just a lot of material. So
Yeah, it takes a while to get through.
Yeah. And I'm also reading The Glass Scientist, which is a webcomic by Sabrina Katungo.
You're about to start reading your textbooks for classes. I assume with all this reading that you're getting in 15 minutes a day?
Mm-hmm.
What am I referring to?
The July, August, September RAL read along.
So this is a quarterly read-along where you read 15 minutes a day every day. I don't care what you're reading as long as you're reading. Audiobooks do count. And all of our new Stitchy FlossTube people are more than welcome to join in on the fun. There's a finish line thread in our Ravelry group that gives all the details. And you earn entries into our year-long challenge by participating in the quarterly challenges. And then at the beginning of January, we'll draw for 3 grand prize winners. And we haven't officially talked about it, but I assume we're going to keep doing the reading challenge next year.
Sure.
Everybody seems to enjoy it, or a lot of people seem to enjoy it, and so, in fact, the question for Ask the Geeky Girls is about something pertaining to the RAL. So check out our show notes or the Ravelry group where all the details are. what I am reading. I am reading White Fragility, Why It's So Hard to Talk to White People About Racism by Robin DiAngelo. I'm really enjoying it. It's just like really, I don't want to say like dense. There's just, but it's one that is taking me a while to read. Because I can only read about like 10 or 12 pages and then it's too much. I can't digest anymore of nonfiction. So that's why I have so many multiple books going at the same time, because I need different ones for different times. So I'm reading that. I am continuing to reread Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the 4th book in the series by J.K. Rowling. I'm rereading it along with Harry Potter and the Sacred Text podcast and Swish and Flick and All Potter podcast. This week was a chapter of the Death Eaters where Voldemort does his mega monologue about everything. Swish and Flick decided to break the chapter up into 2 recordings. So I've listened already to Sacred Texts episode, and I listened to the first Swish and Flick, and then I believe the second will be coming out on Sunday for the second half of the chapter from Swish and Flick.
She's twitching and you're asleep.
Oh, we should be recording her for after the credits. Okay, and then I'm continuing to reread The Fiery Cross, the 5th book in the Outlander series by Diana Gabaldon. I really got to get this done. It keeps getting put on the back burner because I had all these like holds come in at the same time. And then I finished reading A Knight's Tale, which is the 11th book in the Magical Cats mystery series by Sophie Kelly. And then I read the book 11 in the Cat Who... series by Lillian Jackson Braun. And I'm currently reading The Pawful Truth, the 11th book in the Cat in the Stack series by Miranda James. And then next up on my thing to read is a fiction book called American Royals. And it was very intriguing. We were discussing it actually last week at Knitting Group. And
Isn't that Crazy Rich Asians?
No.
No?
It is. Hold that thought, friends. I'm looking it up.
I think Pink is running in her sleep.
Is she running a 5K?
American Royals.
It's really hard to type with one hand. Okay. American Royals by Catherine McGee. Oh, it's a brand new book. It just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, your book says new.
So, it says, just briefly, what if America had a royal family? If you can't get enough of Harry and Meghan or Kate and William, meet American princesses Beatrice and Samantha. Crazy rich Asians meet the crown. Perfect for fans of red, white, and royal blue, and the royal we. 2 princes vying for the ultimate crown. 2 girls vying for the prince's heart. This is the story of the American royals. So, that is what is going to be up next after I finish Pawful Truth, which I probably will finish it tonight. So, that's everything I'm reading. Watching, I watched a couple of Hallmark movies, Forever in My Heart and Mystery 101, Words Can Kill. We're starting to, I think, get into the autumnal movies, and then it'll be time for the 57 zillion Christmas Hallmark movies. I think there's a list out. I need to look.
Oh, no. Did you see her eyes?
Yes, she was like, because she was laying like this, and then she was like...
And then she fell.
She fell over.
That looks so uncomfortable.
And she's asleep again. Why are we not filming this?
Oh.
Hello.
Are we laughing at you?
Oh, we laughing at the sweet baby.
This is a cat, if you're new. This is a cat.
Her name is Pink Pearl. She'll come on in a few minutes. Oh, no! It's the baby bunny.
Okay, we should finish this so that I can go rub her belly and record.
When she lays on her back like this, and her front paws are like this, and her back paws will twitch in her sleep, and so we call it her baby bunny pose. And we did some research on it, and apparently when cats do this, it means that they're very comfortable and they feel very safe in their surroundings and with the people with them. This is kind of a half baby bunny.
I thought she was going to go like more upside down.
Yep.
Like,
okay, I am watching season 6 of Younger. I think I'm halfway through season 6, which is the most recent one. And her secret is out to everyone. And the next episode I watch is about all the fallout.
Ooh.
So, Diana did not take it well, that she had been lying to her. And Charles's ex decided to tell the whole world. Yeah. Okay, the Dr. Hubs and I are... Well, and you too, Dammy, are watching when you're around. Series 4 of Father Brown. I'm still watching season 1 of When Hope Calls. And season 4 of Chesapeake Shores. And the 13th season premiere of Murdoch Mysteries was this week. So I watched it yesterday. And it was about women's rights, the suffrage movement, women's right to vote, and such like that. So that is what I'm watching, and then listening to, of course, my favorite murder podcast. And I can't remember if I talked about this last week or not. When did this episode drop? Oops. No, because it just dropped on Monday. I think I have found my favorite episode of My Favorite Murder. And it was a bonus episode. It was sponsored by the Fox Channel's new show, Prodigal Son, which I'm super excited to watch. And it's got Michael Sheen in it from Good Omens.
Tron Legacy.
Good Omens.
From Twilight New Moon.
Good Omens. And Karen and Georgia covered the cases of Santi Kimes and Dolly Osterreich. And then Bellamy Young, who is in Prodigal Son, came on for an interview, and she told her hometown murder, and it was so sad. But this episode, I just felt like they were spot on. Excuse me, I'm like getting emotional. Spot on, and just really, really enjoyed it. So, yeah. And then, of course, Hadestown OBCR. My love, Hadestown. I was listening to it this morning. Mm-hmm. What have you been listening to?
Cabin Pressure and My Fair Lady Revival.
Cool Beans. Weren't you listening to something else yesterday?
Yeah, I was going to comment. Do you want to put it in there?
Yeah, I can put it in there. Tell them what it is.
The 2013 cast recording of Natasha Pierre in The Great Comet of 1812.
There we go. All right, that's everything we're reading, watching, and listening. Let's move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about our September, October, November artistic autumnal owl.
Tell us about it, Danny.
So this is for any project that you can knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you can convince us is related to autumn.
So let me pop in here. So we're continuing with our 4 traditional Ravelry crafts, knit, crochet, weave, spin, but we're also adding in stitching, which we would consider cross stitch or embroidery. If you have something else that you think would be stitching related, send us a message because we're happy to consider it, as well as sewing. So whether you're sewing like quilts or like doing English paper piecing like I'm doing, or you're sewing clothes, whatever it is, we're going to open up the alongs, our seasonal alongs, to incorporate all those crafts. So we had a discussion about how best to do this, and we decided that what we're going to have you do is, if you're not already a member of Ravelry, we're going to have you join. As I talk about in the videos that we're about to put in, you cannot use Ravelry's project pages to post projects other than knit, crochet, weave, or spin. However, you can post in the in our podcast like discussion group on Ravelry, which is where you'll enter your finished projects for the alongs, as well as I mentioned about entering our giveaways. So we're going to insert a couple of videos here. One, I show you how to register for Ravelry, and then two, I show you how to utilize Ravelry discussion board. Well, I show you how to join our group, and then I show you how to use our discussion board to enter owls and to enter giveaways. So we're going to stop here, put that in, and then we'll be back with the rest of the owl. Okay, so this is a tutorial for our stitchers and sewist, seamstress, whatever you call a person who sews. Or if you've just never jumped in on any of our alongs before, this is what you need to do. First up, you need an account with Ravelry. You're going to go to www.ravelry.com and click the Join Now button. And what you need to do is enter a valid email address and click Email Me a Sign-Up Link, and they will email you a link that will walk you through the process of registering. You'll get to choose a username and your password and all of that. So that's the first thing you need to do. So once you have gone through the full registration process, the next thing that you need to do is join the Geeky Girls Knit group. So right now we're on my Ravelry profile page. I'm Java Pearl. Feel free to friend me. That's totally fine. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to groups, and then right here in the search groups button, you're going to type Geeky Girls Knit, and there it is. Click there, and up here where it says leave this group, because I'm already a member, it'll have a join this group button. You need to click that to join. Now, to post a finished project in our alongs, I'm going to show you what to do. Let me show you this right quick first, though. So if you are a knitter, crocheter, weaver, or spinner, you can create projects on Ravelry and have project pages that have details. For example, this is the preemie hat in this week's video, so it shows you the yarn I used and how much yarn I used and the size of needles and all of that. You cannot create a project page for anything except knitting, crocheting, weaving, and spinning. But there's a way around that for you to be able to participate in our alongs. So what you're going to do is go back to our Geeky Girls Knit podcast group, and right here, this thread that says FO thread artistic autumnal owl, AL stands for along. You're going to click there. You are going to reply to the thread, and up here where the photo image is, you're going to click on that. Now you can enter link, like if you have a blog and you have a picture of your finished project on your blog, you can grab that link and then put it here. Probably the easiest way is going to be to do it on Instagram. So say that this was finished, my pumpkin, my Quaker pumpkin, say that it was finished. So I'm going to open the photo up big, and then you're going to just click in your address bar. I know you can't see that right now, but you're going to click in it and copy it, and then we're going to go back over to Ravelry, and we're going to paste that image in. And you can see that it works because it just brought up that image. And I'm going to put insert image, and there it is. If you want to write something about, I started this project on 1st of September and finished on 18th of September, or whatever. Or you can say, I stitched this project for my best friend, or you can say whatever you want. You don't have to say anything. It is kind of fun sometimes because the reason we do these as seasonal alongs is because we want you to convince us that whatever you're creating relates to that season. So for this along, we're doing autumn. But if you cannot think of any reason, you created it in the autumn. You need to make sure and look at the start and finish dates of the along, because no whips are allowed. So you cannot have started your project before the 1st of September, and you have to finish it by the last of November. Now there is another way, if you don't want to use an image linking service, whether it's your blog or Instagram or Flickr or whatever. You can choose one of these two options down here, upload an image from your computer or via email, and you can sign up and you get, you can then directly input your images into your post for $5 a year. Okay? If you are doing a knitting, crocheting, weaving, or spinning project, you can use this user project or stash photo, and, search for whatever it is you made. Well, I'll just hit her socks and search. Okay, and there we go. There is the Dr. Hub's finished socks. So I can click on that and say, yes, I want to use this photo, and it'll put it in below, and it will link it to my project page. So do whatever you need to do to put the image in there, hit post reply, and it will post it. It will look something like this. So Mamma Mia 64 has said that this is a shawl for cooler autumn evenings. It's Hohi Locatelli's Odyssey. And then she put her picture and posted it, and that is how you enter. The other thing I did want to show you is if we happen to have a giveaway going on, for example, we had a 7th Podiversary giveaway. You have to be a member of our Ravelry group to participate, so make sure you hit join this group on the main page, and then you can post whenever we do a giveaway and be entered into the giveaway. There is also a chatter thread for the Artistic Autumnal Along, so if you have questions or you just want to share your progress, you can post in here, and then every week Dammy gives a shout out to everyone who finished projects, as well as we give you a shout out on the weekly podcast / FlossTube. Okay, if you have any other questions that I didn't cover, feel free to send me a private message. That's this right here. You hit the little mailbox, and you say you want to send an image to, you need to know your person's username. And you could type your message, or you can go to someone's profile. Well, I need to go to someone who's not me. We'll go to Dammy's profile, and I can click message, and it will open up for me to send her a message. Feel free to send me a message, and I'll be happy to help you out. All right, back to the show. Okay, so now here are the rest of the
rest of the information.
Yeah, the rest of the information about our alongs. Go ahead, Dammy.
So it's for any project you knit, crochet, weave, spin, stitch, or sew that you could convince us is related to autumn.
I was going to say, can you give them an idea, especially for our new people?
By your project's
name.
Now I get my spiel. Name, pattern name, colorway name, design element, or if you can't think of anything, you made it in autumn.
Even if you live in the southern hemisphere where it is currently spring, it still counts.
The other main rules are each project that you knit, crochet, weave, or spin must be at least 20 yards. If your project is not at least 20 yards, you need to group it in a single post with other projects that together total at least 20 yards. For stitching and sewing projects, we'll leave it to your best judgment if you want our official ruling on whether your project is too small or something. PM Java Pro on Ravelry, or email us at geekygirlsknit@gmail.com.
Yes.
You can feel free to polydip in other longs as long as it fits in with the other rules. That's totally fine. We have lots of lovely prizes on our screen, plus a new prize.
Yes, so we have, I showed this in Yummies. We have Satsuma Street's pattern. It always seems impossible until it is done. And that is a design by Jody Rice, and it was donated by Bev of Tilting Planet on Etsy.
So thank you so much to our prize donors. If you would like to get a closer look at our prizes or see where they came from, you can go to our show notes at geekygirlsknit.com or tune into the first podcast of every month where we talk about them in detail.
Yes.
You must be a member of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast group on Ravelry in order to participate. There's a hashtag if you'd like to tag your projects or on social media. It's GGK Autumn 19. The FO thread is going to be locked on the morning of the 1st of December, and winners will be drawn for the next podcast after that. And any winners will have 30 days to claim their prize or they forfeit it.
Yes.
There's a chatter thread on Ravelry where you can post about your projects, and it's where I give shout outs to people who finish projects. But I do it here too.
Yes,
so.
Go ahead, Dammy.
A. Bingham, D. Dorf 4, I Know Hour, Falling Star 12, Philippa MC, Knit Central, Mamma Mia, Mystery Sewer,
Mamma Mia 64.
Mamma Mia 64, Mystery Sewer, Nicole S., Phoenix Fire, Share 2014, VT Kimmy Kim, Yarn Taxi Driver, and Yell Cat 2.
Great job, everybody, for finishing those projects. You still have a little over 2 months to get your projects done, so feel free to join in. I was going to say, for our stitchers and sewers who are just now joining, as long as your project was not begun before September 1st, if you've already finished something, feel free to post it. And you can post multiple items. You can have multiple entries into the giveaways.
Just put them in separate posts.
Yes. Dammy will contact you if you don't do that and be like,
Please,
you need to do this. She'll be nice about it, but she will tell you. All right, let's move on to the next segment.
now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls, the part of our show where you ask us things and we try to answer them.
Yes, so this week, the question's from me. So, Dammy, what is the question?
So this week's question is from Hillary, who is Crafty Textile Lady from Canada. I have a question for Cece, since I'm going to go out on a limb and assume Dammy is too busy with school to be attempting it.
Yes.
How are you doing with the Modern Mrs. Darcy Reading Challenge? I'm trying both it and your reading challenge for the first time this year. I found it has caused me to pick up books that I otherwise wouldn't read, some of which I've enjoyed and others not so much.
That's the truth. So I have my Modern Mrs. Darcy in my Bujo. I realized when I showed this earlier, I didn't tell you where it's from. This was made by Lady Falcon Travelers. She has a website. I'll put a link in the show notes, as well as a Facebook group. And I have this one, this pink one with the 100-acre wood. And then it's got cords inside, and I have two. I could put up to 4 notebooks in here, but I only have 2 in here. And then I have one that is River Song's journal with the blue, and it looks like the TARDIS. And I've got 2 notebooks in there, so they all have their appropriate uses. Okay, so I brought this over here also because my Modern Mrs. Darcy is in here. So,
Mama, she made me one biscuit.
oh, so here's my Modern Mrs. Darcy. That was Stash Dasher this year. So, the Modern Mrs. Darcy Reading Challenge, you had to read 12 books for it, and if you do that, you earn bonus entries into the year-long read-along challenge.
Our read-along.
Our read-along challenge.
Oh, so you finished it?
I'm done. I've been done for a while.
Okay.
So,
tell us what you did.
So, I need to link all these in the show notes. I will do that. For a book that I have been meaning to read, I read For the Love by Jen Hatmaker. For a book about a topic that fascinates me, I read Mindful Silence by Philena Hertz. I'm in love with her books. For a book in the backlist of a favorite author, I've been reading the back catalog of J.D. Robb's In Death series. I am awaiting the next one. I've been on the hold list forever. I think I'm the next one on the list. A book recommended by someone with great taste. I read Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. It was such a good book, and it had been recommended to me by several people. And then you had to read 3 books by the same author, so I chose Janet Ivanovich, and I read Dangerous Minds, The Pursuit, and Curious Minds. Almost said Criminal Minds. That's a TV show. For a book that I chose for the cover, I read The Care and Feeding of Ravenously Hungry Girls by Anissa Gray. For a book by an author that was new to me, I read Ghosted by Rosie Walsh. For a book in translation, so what that means is it was originally written in another language and it's been translated into English. So I read The Thief by...
I can't read your handwriting. Is that F-U-M-E?
I-N-O-N-I.
I am Fumioni Nukamara.
Yes. And then I read a book outside my genre comfort zone. I read Transcription by Kate Atkinson. And then I had to read a book that was published before I was born. I was born in 1977. The book I chose was published in 1966. I read The Cat Who Could Read Backwards by Lillian Jackson Braun. So I have finished all 12 of my books for Modern Mrs. Darcy. I will link them in the show notes in case that gives you any ideas of stuff to read if you haven't finished your challenge. But if you are participating in the Modern Mrs. Darcy Reading Challenge, I would love to hear what books you have read or are planning to read and how you're doing in the challenge. So let me know in the episode thread in our Ravelry group. And thank you so much to Hillary for the question. So, Dammy, if somebody has a question for us, what should they do?
Go to our Ask the Geeky Girls thread in our Ravelry group and post it.
That's right, and we answer them in order unless they're time sensitive. And thus far, Dammy's breaking over Pinky. She's
like pressing her paws against her face. It's like,
oh. We need to bring her over here for the closing.
I was going to leave her alone.
Oh, you were?
Sleepy.
Okay, well, we have video of her for after the credits. There's not been a single question yet that we have not been willing to answer, so feel free to ask away. All right, let's move on to the next segment. We made it to the end of the show, Dammy.
Yay!
There was a lot of information in this episode. Magical stitches, new ways to participate in the owls, tutorials, all kinds of stuff. I hope y'all have enjoyed it. We don't have any announcements right now.
I still have some skeins from G-Stash. Got a couple skeins left. Go look and see if you're interested.
Do you know which ones you have left?
No.
This is in our Ravelry group. There's a thread called Dammy's Back to School. Okay, so she has...
So I have a skein that I hand spun from Countess Ablaze Merino Bamboo Nylon Fiber. It's dark green and it's sparkle. It's the Nightmare colorway. And then I have a skein that was hand spun by someone else from the Hello Yarn Fiber Club Fiber Falklands. It's Grouchy Pie colorway. And then I have another bundle that was my first set of hand spun, and I think they're all really pretty good. You can make something cute and soft with them. It's from Hilltop Cloud. It's BFL in Merino, British Shetland in Merino, and then North Ronaldsy Roving. And I also have 50 grams of a Knits and Class Fiber Studio BFL DK in the Not So Shy Violet colorway. I have a bundle. It's for 2 at a time socks from Mint Rain Yarn hand-dyed yarns, Tough Sock in the Night Vision and Lake Superior colorway. And then I have a skein of Whimsy Sakuso O in the Spock colorway.
Yes. So if you're interested in any of that, take a look in the show notes, and Dammy gives you instructions on what you need to do so that we can get you an invoice. Okay, well, if there's not any other announcements, let's talk about our normal stuff. So we'd like to say a humongous thank you to everyone who supports our podcast. We love you guys. We would not be doing this without you. Fist bump.
I should go fist bumping.
I thought you were leaving her alone so she could sleep.
I wasn't going to pick her up.
Oh, okay.
I can still pick her up.
We say especially thank you to those of you who support us financially, because it does cost money to do the podcast. Dammy kicked over her water. It does cost money to do the podcast. Shipping prizes. I shipped some more out this week. If you entered into the Summertime in the Livin' is Easy along and or the 7th Podversary giveaway, we still have a few prizes that have not been claimed.
Go see if you won them.
You have 30 days to claim your prize, so if you entered those, you should go check if you haven't already. Yeah, so to ship out prizes, technical stuff, all that kind of stuff. So, there are 3 main ways you can support the podcast financially. First is Patreon, which is a site where you pledge a certain amount of money a month to your favorite creatives, and you earn rewards based on what level you donate at. Dammy, if they would like to know more about it or want to sign up, where should they go?
Patreon.com/geekygirlsknit.
What's another way?
There's a PayPal button in the sidebar of our website if you would like to make a one-time donation.
And we are Amazon.com.co.uk and .ca affiliates. If you're going to shop on Amazon, if you go to our website first, you can either click on the image or link in the sidebar or at the bottom of the show notes. Do your shopping as normal. Amazon will give us a little money back based on what you purchase. It doesn't cost you anything extra. It's a great way to support the podcast by doing something you would be doing anyway. And especially with holiday shopping going to be starting up very soon. Some people may have already started. I've been making a list of stuff to buy.
You checked it twice.
I have not checked it twice, but I will. So that you should definitely click through our site first. Okay, Dammy, why don't you tell them where they can find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnet.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. YouTube, iTunes, Ravelry, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc.
That's right. Well, with that, we're going to tell you goodbye. We hope you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day. I'm looking for my stitch thing to put on my hair so my stitches don't fall off the needle. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and that you are excited. Autumn starts, I do believe, next week, officially. I
think it actually starts on Saturday.
Is it Saturday? For some reason, I thought it was like the 21st or the 23rd. Oh, Saturday is the 21st. Okay, it's starting soon. And I'm glad. I've already been pretending like it's autumn. I've been wearing slippers and cardigans and drinking pumpkin spice lattes. And it has been cooler here. It's been so nice. To our people watching in the Gulf Coast area, there's a really bad storm. So stay safe. I'm sure if you're down there, you're not watching this right now, but you're in our thoughts and prayers. And enjoy these last few days of summer. And happy crafting to you, and we'll talk to you again next time. Bye.
Bye. And here we've got a pink in the wild. Gotta go see her without disturbing her. Oh, we did it. Oh, she's awake. Be careful, she might bite. Hello. Look upon the multitude of the belly. Don't you wish you could pet your cat's belly like this? Holding hands. Oh, she's so relaxed. No.